What's up, everyone? We are here with Old Man Logan and family and son. What's going on, guys? Why don't you kind of give us an introduction? Logan, make sure you plug the podcast because we got to get everybody listening to that, especially now that Bones isn't going to be on for a little bit. We really got to pump viewership up.
Oh, 100%. So again, Old Man Logan 76, one of three for the Scoundrels in a Cantina every Thursday, 8:30 Eastern Time. It's real, it's fun. Sometimes it's real fun. Not the most informative group, but we try our best. We have a lot of laughs. We have some drinks. We do our thing. My co-host Bob is going to be taking a little bit of a sabbatical. He's got some personal things going on, so he's going to take care of that, which is important. Always take care of yourself first. But no, I'm Phil. I always look forward to these videos doing with you. I don't know what this is our fifth time doing this now.
Yeah, something like that.
With the new Datacron sets, I love this. I love doing deep dives on Datacrons. I'm heavily invested in Datacrons. So, and believe it or not, they've saved my ass more than once in GAC matches. So, let me turn it over to Mr. YoungSkywalker, who has now become quite the Datacron conspiracy theorist. So I'll hand it on over to him.
Hi, YoungSkywalker. Also play Star Wars. Be doing the Scoundrels podcast for a little while, the cover for Bones. Excited to be here. Talk about Datacrons. Love this new set. I'm a big fan of Datacrons. I actually, hot take, when they first came to the game, was very excited about the potential of lifting not great characters to be better and to kind of like flush out rosters more. And I like the small things they add. I have hot takes about Datacrons, but I also do agree with a lot of like the general consensus when it comes to a lot of them. But generally, I'm a big fan of Datacrons.
All right, yeah. So I would say, and then of course, to reiterate on my feelings on Datacrons, I am a reluctant participant with them. If they deleted them from the game tomorrow, I would do naked cartwheels around my house, but I'm resigned to the fact that won't happen, so I participate in them so that way I can compete in Grand Arena. Because I do admit without them, GAC would get really boring. Really, really boring.
And that's kind of the argument that I've always given, is that without Datacrons, it would be people would set the same teams on defense. There's given counters, and it would just get stale. It's like people would set stuff, and you've got things to counter it. But with Datacrons, especially with the secondaries, it adds so many more variables to matches on how things can go awry, and either you win big time or sometimes, there's been times I've gone into a match and I've looked at somebody's Datacron and especially some of their secondaries, and I'm like, oh man, I have to think about this. Like, a team that's got an extra, 150% defense, you need to worry about. That's stuff you need to worry about. So sometimes it negates counters that normally would work. You got to think outside the box. You got to, do some number crunching in your head. And I'm no expert. I'm not the greatest at GAC, but I love what Datacrons brings to GAC. So if they were deleted from the game, I would actually probably lay in bed and cry for an hour. Because I feel like it would just make GAC so boring.
Dude, it's funny you mentioned the secondaries. I was watching Arnold stream. I normally pull up his Grand Arenas and decide if I want to continue watching or not based on if he's trying. And no, like, I said this is...
I know. Yeah.
Nothing but respect for Arnold. But, man, when he goes on there and is like, I gave the win away, it's like, okay, you were worried that you were going to lose, so you just didn't try something. But today, he went hard against this guy who had, like, a couple Datacrons with over 100% health on the secondaries. One of them was like...
God!
It was like 368% armor pen. One of them was straight critical damage. I mean, they were absurd secondaries.
They were min-max to the max.
Yeah. Like, I listen to the Gambit podcast whenever it comes out, and that's with Solo Base and Zareth. And they've talked about a couple of times where Solo has actually looked at the numbers. I don't know how you do it, but there's somewhere where you can see like how many times a player has re-rolled something. Now, I do consider myself a whale, but there are ultra whales out there that are re-rolling Datacrons 20 fucking times to get the secondaries they want. That is an obscene amount of resources.
And it's especially when you think those resources are on like the level 8 and 7, where they're only available from TW and PAX.
Yeah.
That's where they're...
Or it's also the 600 crystal thing that you can, but it's only like 25 of them. So it's 600 crystals for 25 of those Mark III reroll, and it's not a great return on investment.
It's not. It's really not. It's not worth it.
So we want to start with this new, obviously, that we've got they're really getting great with names where we had Echoes of Rebellion and now it's Echoes of War. So they must have as an accountant, they must have an accountant running things because we're obviously the most, creative kind of people. So we
100%.
wanted to, YoungSkywalker, we wanted to start with, I think, the Jedi Temple Guard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely start with the focused because those are the ones.
Special, if you spend money, you get this cool glowy box.
Yes.
So, real quick, I do have a question, and I think the community would want to know this too. Phil, remember when you and I had our last episode and we were talking about Photos Datacrons, and you and I were really reluctant on whether or not what our engagement in this was going to be. So I will give you my result of what I maxed out. Phoenix I put to like 12. And the last one, the fourth one, I don't remember. Oh, it was Zalbar. I put Zalbar to like 6. So I engaged more than I thought I was going to.
Okay.
And it appears, especially in GAC, that my opponents engaged as well, because it got to a point where I was starting to see Dr. Afra on defense consistently, and that shit ain't easy to deal with.
Yeah, So I did 1, which is more than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah, I remember. We were both like...
And I did the Boba Fett sign of Django. I did Dad Bod Boba, which I felt was because Afra had the... Now, I know it's going away, but she had the BT1 Datacron there for a bit. So I was kind of reluctant to kind of take that away. So now, I mean, I'm just not really going to use her, but I don't know, her Datacron is really good. I think if you throw it on defense, I just started bringing extra Galactic Legends on offense, and it's not a big deal.
That's pretty much what I did. I feel like there's such a variety of teams that you can put on defense that you're going to have to spend something to deal with it.
Yeah.
So
how about you, YoungSkywalker? How many did you get? Any focus ones?
I maxed all of them.
Holy shit!
Are you?
And I can't tell you how many times.
Christ.
I'll think about it like this, and we'll go over it when I talk about the focused crons. Think about it like this: those crons do not have a relic cap. They don't have to go to the character that it's tied to, and those stats are fucking absurd. That Zalbar Kron's defense, I can't tell you the amount of times I'm like, I'm never going to use Old Republic, but 150% more defense on a Ray team.
So
I considered the same thing for one simple reason. What is the return going to be when those focus crowns are dusted?
That too. I was about to mention that as well. Yep. I'm going to get so much materials back when those dust.
You're going to get I mean, we don't know yet, but potentially it could be like a king's ransom.
which
So
I mean, realistically, will then pay for the new focus set. So like that's how I'm going to continue
Well,
doing this.
it'll pay for some of it.
I think it'll pay for most of them, especially because I'm already sitting at almost 60 million data cash again.
It'll pay for like one though, because it's like a 30% return rate, right?
Is it?
It's literally, that's why I said it's going to cover some of it. Like the return rate is not. You know what the return rate is decent on? The cash. The resources, you believe it or not, you start to run out of that. When you start pumping in a couple level 9s, you start running out of some of that other shit. And the cash, you get a lot of it, but you have to be careful with that too. But it's also a balancing act where you have to upgrade Nucrons, and I dismantle some before the set expires because what's Phil? What's the cap on the cash right now?
100K.
It's 100 million.
100K.
Yeah,
go over that. And if your set dusts and you're over, you lose all that. So I'm very cognizant of when the set dusts, how much cash I have, what is going to translate to excess, and how much I have to spend so I don't lose anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking with the focus. It's funny you mentioned the Zalbar one. So I faced a Ray team that was
I think
it was
you sent me a picture of that.
Ray, Ben. Yeah, I sent it to Logan. Ray, Ben, Ezra, Cal, and I think JTR. And they had the Zalbar Kron maxed out. And I brought Malicos. Let me see if I can pull up the Datacron that I brought. Because we can come back to those. Let me pull up this Datacron that I brought. I think it's my Embo one. So it's got like 20% offense, 28%. Like it's a pretty decent Kron. It's got good like health, offense, arm. Like every single stat is useful.
Yeah.
And my Malicos actually got the offense down from Ezra, which was like worst case scenario for that fight. Anybody else can get it, him getting it. But because that Datacron, it starts with 25% turn meter. Right?
Beautiful.
Like well, so yes, it's great for that, but was it the Zalbar one or the it was the Phoenix one, sorry. Phoenix. The Phoenix one has the
turn meter.
The Phoenix had the turn meter.
Yeah, sorry, Phoenix one. With the health and the defense. So they get 25% turn meter. Well, that basically gave me how much stacking offense and critical damage on Malicos because they all took turns since I used Seer Junda lead. So it basically negated by the time it like negated offense down, I killed everyone before they got the ultimate. Like Ray was about to, I should say about, she had full ultimate charge, but everybody was dead already after I got 64 banners on it. And it just kind of blew my mind where I was like, this focus Datacron just got its ass kicked by a random one that I had rolled. But
yeah, I
had great luck with it.
Yeah, I only invested in the Phoenix one, and it didn't really pay any dividends. But I thought it was going to do well in TW.
It did well for me in TW. Got a couple of holds.
I didn't. But all right, do we want to dive into this?
Yeah, let's get
we can start with the Temple Guard. So the stats for Temple Guard is a lot of critical. I don't have the exact numbers, but it's critical avoidance, armor pen,
45% crit avoidance, 165 armor pen, 135% resistance pen, and this number is gross, 80% tenacity. Which, all right, tenacity isn't bad, but this game is now becoming saturated with characters where something in their kit says this cannot be resisted, or it's like, so I feel like as time goes on and more kits come out, tenacity is becoming less and less important.
Yeah,
and it's like completely negated by tenacity down.
It really is.
But I want to give them credit it's both armor pen and resistance pen. Because
Yeah,
how
no,
many
that's
times
dirty.
is your Captain Drogon just completely out in the cold on an armor pen set because he deals special damage? Like, so the combining them, I'm very happy about, because it is super frustrating when it's one or the other and you're using a, physical or special attacker.
Oh yeah, I had a cron that I was going to use for Java that had like 270, 280 armor pen, but Booze Leia couldn't use it.
Yeah.
So rest of the team could. She couldn't. So all right, buddy. What do we? Those are the stats. What do we got for the levels? The mechanics.
So the early ones I'll just go over like very quickly. So whenever light side allies use a basic ability, they gain speed up for 2 turns. It's nice, keeps the team rolling. If you're running a Keller and Beck with the team, which I mean you should be, he calls mass assist. Everyone does their basics. Everyone's getting speed up. Yep. So that's always nice. Take more turns. Level 6, you Jedi Vanguard allies start the battle with damage immunity for 2 turns. Can't be copied, but can be dispelled. If you have anybody with a mass dispel at the beginning of the battle, gets rid of that pretty easily. It is a nice ability, though. You have to kind of pick and choose what teams you're bringing in, who has mass dispels, things like that. It makes it a little bit more of a nuisance to go after. Your level 9 is whenever an enemy is defeated by a Jedi Vanguard ally, the enemy can't be revived.
I like
the revive
that.
stuff. The revive stuff is kind of niche. It is nice.
But I like that.
Yeah, it is nice to get for sure for things like if this cron should be active still whenever Mace comes around. So if Mace ends up being a good counter for Rey, then hey, that's another Rey counter that you don't got to worry about Ben coming back.
I'm also thinking that this potentially, if he's really good, could be I mean, I don't see it very often, but could be a counter to Leia, because Leia has a revive mechanic.
Leia has a lot of revives, yep.
Yeah.
Then this one is a call out level 12 for Jocasta Nu.
This is gross.
Jocasta Nu gains 15% turn meter when other allies use a special ability on their turn. For those of you listening who don't 100% understand Jocasta Nu's kit or haven't even unlocked her yet, her whole kit is tied around her rifle form, which can only be activated off of a cooldown based off of special abilities by allies being used. So
she is going to be whipping out that fucking shoulder cannon real quick.
She has her only special when she's in lightsaber form reduces her rifle ability down by 10 cooldowns, and then for each time in non-Grand Arena, because her Omicron makes it much faster, but in each time her ally uses a special ability, it'll drop the cooldown by, it's either 1 or 2. And then in Grand Arena with the Omicron on.
I think it's 2. It's 2.
And then with Grand Arena with the Omicron on, it doubles it. So then you're getting that rifle out fast.
No, you are. The one thing, though, I think it makes sense that they kind of did that is because at base, Jocasta Nu is rather slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
But not just that, but just like getting the rifle out, like she hits like a truck with that thing out.
It is. I mean, that Order 66 event. And granted, that's not, yeah, I know.
So yeah, that'll be super nice for her. Again, this cron should be out when Mace rolls around, so you'll be able to use this. Nice call out for her. And then the Temple Guard, level 15, because this cron is for the big spenders that are going to get him to relics and unlock this cron. Whenever Temple Guard is inflicted with a debuff, they taunt for 2 turns. Whenever Temple Guard taunts, all Jedi Vanguard allies gain a staff of courage, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented.
And
that's disgusting.
I don't remember where in his kit, but there's
a call out to courage in his kit.
Yeah, and there's also a call out to he does something when he taunts.
Oh, I'll pull up his kit here.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Where's the dumb?
I know he's basically like the light side Grand Inquisitor. He's got a mass AoE.
Oh my god! I'm so glad you mentioned that, because literally he is. I mean, that AoE mass ability block. He
attacks multiple times on his basic.
Yep.
Okay, so for each.
He
at the start
attacks
of
multiple
battle.
times on his basic when he's taunting. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so all right, so he deal physical damage, inflict defense down once per turn if it's his turn, and they're taunting, attack again, which can't be countered. And if the target enemy has defense down, attack again, which can't be countered.
Yep.
Dirty.
And what's nice, it'll be the same way. It'll be the same way as Grand Inquisitor. So, like, if he attacks once and he has taunt, he'll attack again. And if either of those first two instances he inflicts defensive down, that'll trigger his third attack, which is nice because with Grand Inquisitor, if you have, like, let's say you have 4 stacks of Purge on somebody, they attack once. Grand Inquisitor does his basic once because that's him doing his basic. That inflicts the 5th stack. He'll attack again, would be triggered by the 3rd stack, and because they now have that 6th stack of Purge, he'll attack a 3rd time, which is nice that it like keeps ramping and keeps going.
The only thing I would warn people with that is that due to the fact that the Jedi Vanguard is a tank, yeah, he's gonna do his basic 3 times, but you're not gonna be doing earth-shattering damage.
He's gonna be probably hitting about the same, probably actually way less than Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I was re-looking at his kit, and the one thing that I'm noticing is in GAC, no Allied Galactic Legends. Galactic Republic Jedi gain 50% defense, offense, and potency, and if all allies are Vanguard, the values are doubled. So that 100% potency is playing a role for his ability blocks and the
defense down.
The defense down.
I was actually considering when I unlock him tomorrow, doing a health and 2 health sets and a potency set.
You won't need to. With all the built-in potency, I would go because he's getting a ton of crit avoidance. I would go either 2 or 4 health and then defense. Pretty much how you have Scorch modded minus potency.
Oh God. You know what? I don't mean to break my arm patting myself too hard in the back, but my Scorch is modded masterfully. I've got him in almost 200k protection, and I got his speed at 315.
I was shocked at how many people have a fast Scorch. It's blowing my mind a little bit.
I know. For a tank, you don't expect a tank to be pushing over 300 speed.
So that's the end of the Jedi Vanguard one. And we can talk about it a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So one thing I'm noticing, right? Again, got to bring it up, is that you're only getting this if you whale. So for most of you, you're not gonna have this, but you're going to have to figure out how the hell to beat it. And that's going to be the bigger issue at hand, is how are you beating this thing? Because they're getting the stacks of courage here is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, because I mean yeah, 100%. Go ahead, Phil.
It's whenever it's the part that it's attached to, right? Because there's 2 sentences there. Whenever he's inflicted with a debuff, he taunts. Whenever they taunt, they gain a stack of courage, but also in his kit, the first time each other Jedi Vanguard ally loses all their protection, he taunts and gains crit avoidance.
Yeah.
The special, which has a cooldown of 3, taunts for 2 turns. Like, he is going to have a lot of those taunts where he's going to just be giving out stacks of courage beyond just, oh, you landed a debuff. And that's going to be the scary part with this.
Yeah.
It is. And the other thing with this Kron is this is obviously 100%. This is for the whales. But this is an investment because there will still be a healthy amount of time that this Kron is going to be active when Mace Windu comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be about, what, a month? So it's, what, 120 days?
120 days minus, so take 30 away from that. So 90 days.
Yeah, there it is. My little Disney counter.
3 months. It. That's 3 GACs. You're gonna use this with Mace Windu.
And I don't even think with just Mace. Like now with Temple Guard coming in, you have Jocasta Nu, you have Keller and Beck, right? Like you could throw in 2 other. If you're a high end whale, you're in Kyber 1, right? Like you're getting this team, you're getting this Kron. You already have Jocasta Nu built up. right? Like, this will be a good team to put on like a back wall defense and be like,
Yeah,
hey,
because
what do you got for it? Go
it's
ahead.
It's a banner stealer because if Jacasanu breaks out the shoulder cannon, you're losing some banners. I don't give a fuck. You are not clearing this team without taking a nosebleed.
And now that this team has a dedicated taunt, and you can't, unless you have ignore taunt, you can't just blitz down Jocasta New and call it a day. Like,
Which
you
is
put
so
like
funny
if you're a high end whale, throw this in your back wall and let your opponent be like, oh, fucking god damn it.
Which is so funny because every time I've seen a Jedi Vanguard team with Keller and Beck, I just focus down Jocasta New and it's done.
Yeah, I've just been using JML on it all the time. Just save JML for everything Keller and back and move on with my life.
Yeah. All right. So I'm really looking forward to this next one because the reason why I called Young Skywalker the conspiracy theorist is because of director Krennic. Now,
oh, is that the one we're going over? I was gonna
So-
go. I got you.
No, let's go with it. And Phil, this is gonna blow your mind what he thought of and how this could interact. So, Young Skywalker, I'm gonna leave this one 100% to you and let you melt Phil's brain out of his head.
I love this Kron so much. This is everyone's super hyped about Darkside Ray. Everyone loves the Hermit Yoda one for Jedi. This is my favorite Kron of this focused Datacron set. So you're getting 60% offense, 50% critical damage, 80% potency. But that's not
chance.
Oh yeah, what did I say?
You said damage.
Whatever. 50% critical chance. Gotcha. All right. So level 3 Shore Trooper. First time Shore Trooper is defeated, they're revived with 100% health, gain protection over time, 75% for 2 turns, and take a bonus turn. Cool. Level 6 Empire. Whenever an Empire ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy has ability block, inflict ability block for 1 turn on the target enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. Cool. Level 9 Death Trooper. Whenever another ally uses an ability on their turn, Death Trooper assists. Limit once per turn, dealing 50% more damage. The level 12 is where things get very, very interesting. Whenever a support ally starts their turn, dispel the tenacity up from all enemies. Reduce their tenacity by 100% until the end of the turn. Whenever a support inflicts debuff on an enemy, all allies get benefits based on their rolls for the rest of the encounter. Attackers get 10% critical damage, healers get 5% tenacity, supports get 10% potency, tanks get 5% defense. Whenever a support grants a buff to another ally, they also inflict buff immunity for 1 turn on all enemies. That level 12 is not tied to a faction, is not tied to light side, dark side, is not tied to anything. Now, I will ask you this. Imagine that level 12 support on a Queen Amidala team. Imagine that level 12 on a Rey team with Ezra, who's a support.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine that level 12 on any team that has a massive support type character cast that is already annoying to chew through. You're not getting buffs. You're getting debuffed constantly. And that other team is ramping with critical damage, with the offense from the Kron stats, the extra potency. Like,
I didn't even think you were going there. I was thinking you just throw like OG Moff Gideon in this team for demoralized, and you're gonna get all those debuffs. But that's even crazier.
No, Buddy, throw out the theory of how Queen Amidala is gonna interact with this.
Well, yeah. So Queen Amidala is gonna take her turn at the beginning, right? Because she gets that guaranteed turn.
Yep.
Your entire team has buff immunity at the very start.
Yeah.
Right? She calls in. She is targeting whoever the fuck she wants at that point. Right? So then the Treya counters against Queen Amidala, gone. You're not beating it with this team. Because with Queen Amidala, with every time she takes a turn, she's getting 10% critical damage, and they're already getting 60% offense and 50% critical chance. Padawan Kenobi is going to wipe you within the first couple turns.
He's going to start putting
Relic 9 Padawan Kenobi is disgusting on its own, you throw in 60% offense and then ramping critical damage that it doesn't stop.
And
There is no
is that
cap.
when a support inflicts a debuff, right?
Yep.
So would that, I'm thinking if you threw Bad Batch Echo in that team where he's going to inflict daze and healing immunity, that's going to count 2 instances per character, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean, it's the same with Queen Amidala's big AoE. She inflicts vulnerable on everybody.
That's 100% crit damage off the rip when Echo
I'm telling you, I'm getting this Kron as quickly as humanly possible. Like, I love the Rey one, and we'll talk about it, man. I love the Hermit Yoda one. But I'm getting this Kron first to 12 so that I have it for whatever Grand Arena happens when these Krons drop. And
but that's
I'm putting
the beauty.
That's
the beauty. With this Kron, stop at level 12.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all you need.
Unless level 13 and 14 are all the offense bonuses. And then
that is true. That is true. Can you imagine they did that? All the offenses, the levels you don't need. Oh my God, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, like we're preparing ourselves for the inevitable. Fuck you.
So Phil, it's funny when this set first dropped. When YoungSkywalker discovered you can go in game and look at this. I think, buddy, you called me, and he was like, "Yeah, did you see this level 12 support on the?" I'm like, no, buddy, what? The shit's out? Really? Where? How do you find it? I don't know. And then I read it, and I'm listening to him say this, and I'm going, "Oh my God!" And he's right. It's not dark side. It's not light side. Any support and there are really good supports in this game.
You know who else is a support in Queen Amidala team?
Master Qui-Gon.
Master Qui-Gon, who inflicts debuff like crazy.
If you roll in there with Qui-Gon, Queen Amidala, and Echo, that team is going to ramp so fast. I think Bane will still beat it. Clearly, right? Bane will still beat it.
Because
your Traya counter gone.
Yeah, no, the Traya counter is gone. Bane is still going to beat it, but only because the team's not going to have the time to ramp the way it wants.
I don't. You're gonna probably have to bring Sith Eternal with your Bane, or have a really good Kron.
No, I'm thinking Bane with a high relic Sith will still take this.
I'm trying to remember, but
unless they target Bane down, I don't think
if they target your Bane, you're up a creek.
You're gonna lose.
Paddle.
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah.
But I just read Director Krennic's level 15.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, holy shit.
No, it's for such a shit character. I feel like he should have this regardless.
Yeah, add this in, please. So, YoungSkywalker, take us away on that one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. If Director Krennic is in the leader slot, all allies are immune to daze. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with ability block, all allies recover 20% protection. All allied tanks taunt for 2 turns and gain a stack of insight until the end of the encounter, max 10. If an allied Imperial probe droid is present, Krennic gains an additional stack of insight. If Krennic has 10 stacks of insight, whenever an enemy is inflicted with ability block, they are inflicted with ability block until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, prevented, or resisted. So, rough for sure. This is a slow burn team. This is, in my opinion, one of those teams where if you don't take it out quickly, you are going to get snowballed very fast, and you will just be basicking to hopefully your way to victory. But if you don't beat this team quickly, you'll lose from the sole fact that you're just going to be ability blocked the entire goddamn fucking battle. But
I like this with QA, right? Because I like this with QA a lot. I think it's a great shout.
Yeah.
But I have this feeling sometimes that in certain circles, this would make a lot more sense to throw with Krennic. Like, Logan, for you and I and Kyber One, YoungSkywalker, I'm not sure what part of GAC you're falling into.
Like mid Kyber 2.
Okay, so you're basically in the same spot where this is like a QA thing. But if I was in like the middle part of K3, K4, and I wanted to invest in these Datacrons, I'm going to put Krennic there for the sole fact that people are not going to know how to beat that team. And they're going to either overspend on it or they're going to drop. Because I think the way these focused Datacrons should be handled for players below the top end of Kyber is use them as they're intended and force your opponent to figure out how to beat it or take advantage of the offense purpose of it.
While I see your point on that, I'm going to point out one thing because I was really curious. So I'm in game and I'm looking at every support in the game because I'm thinking if Director Krennic, if you wanted to use Krennic the way this was intended, yes, Krennic is a support. So real quick, the other Empire supports, Grand Moff Tarkin, Admiral Piet,
Mara Jade,
Grand Admiral Thrawn, Emperor Palpatine, General Veers, Colonel Stark.
Yeah, that one of team is gross.
Imperial Probe Droid.
Which he gets a call out.
Mara Jade's an attacker.
Yeah, that's what I think. Mara Jade's an attacker.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So while there are some team comps, and I especially think with where is Moff Tarkin's Omicron? Is that?
It should be
it's on his lead. It's on his 3. Yeah, it's on his for 3v3. So that really wouldn't. While I see there could potentially be some team comps with Empire, I would try this cron with Queen Amidala first, and then see how it reacts, and then go from there.
Someone in chat just said this cron might be rather disgusting with Inquisitors too. Which
oh fuck
just smelling tenacity up like every debuff on that team is landing.
I'm already up here. Fifth Brother is a support.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh.
Merrick, I know you want to use him for Balin, but he's a support.
I'd be curious. But it's
Merrick,
not gonna.
You're not going to get a lot out of the level 12, but the level 6 will be nice because like everyone will be an ability block all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's no other enemy is ability blocked, inflict ability block.
No, I know. So say like Grand Inquisitor gets out, does his big ability block, that all expires. So then the next time one of your Inquisitor allies takes a turn, they can ability block one other character.
Oh, gotcha.
On top of that, Riva ability blocks on her basic. So then if the ability block from the level 6 expires, then Riva can reapply. And then like you can pretty much just lock down one person who just can't do specials.
Yeah.
No, this is
all right.
That level 12, those going into those damn classes is crazy instead of factions.
Yeah, I mean this was an old one. Do you guys remember when the cron set they made where it was like attackers, tanks, healers?
Support. Yeah, no, this was out there before, and supports people were relicking up their supports left and right because really supports are not characters that you really need to relic very high.
No,
so I saw this and it immediately made me remember of like how much of a massive pain in the ass that level 12 was on Ray teams. Like back in the day when this cron was like the new cron and that was level 12, it was just like your Grand Arena was won or lost on how many level 12 support crons or level 9 support crons did you have.
All right.
I was a big fan of this one.
So Hermit Yoda. Good night.
This one is very exciting. As a Jedi Master Luke truther, by putting him to Relic 9 as my first GL, or as my first character that I ever put to R9, I am a Jedi Master Luke truther. I love that team. It's one of my favorite teams. So go with the stats, max health 80%. critical avoidance 35%, defense 150%.
That's gross.
The level 3, we'll get into the defense aspect later on as well. The first time each light side ally reaches 75, 50, and 25% health, grant them protection up 50% for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Whenever a Jedi ally gains foresight, they deal 20% more damage, stacking max 100% until the end of battle.
That's fucking gross. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to break down this level 9 after I read it. Whenever Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker uses a special ability, he gains a bonus turn.
This is stupid.
So hear me out here, right? Yeah. So Luke does his stun, his mass stun, right? Takes a turn. He passes his special buff, so his first special. He does that one, takes a bonus turn. Jedi Master Luke's lead grants you an ability that is considered a special ability.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
So he uses that and targets somebody else. He then takes another bonus turn. Jedi Luke in that span has taken 4 bonus turns and is 1 more turn away from having his mass stun back.
Yep.
That's so ridiculous.
Phil, it is going to be this team, and we haven't even gotten through level 12 or 15.
No.
This team is going to be absolutely disgusting.
And I don't think it's a defense team because I don't think the AI is.
I don't think
the AI will not play this right at all.
No.
So this is a purely like whatever is over there, I want it gone kind of team. So love that level 9 for Luke. Level 12 Jedi. This is where we'll get into the defensive stat a little bit more. While Jedi allies have 100% health, they have 100% offense. Otherwise, they have 100% defense. At the start of their turn, if they are buffed, they gain advantage for 1 turn. Otherwise, they gain tenacity up for 2 turns. So,
fucking gross.
100% health, 100% offense. We'll think about this in the context of Jedi Master Luke is taunting until he drops below 100% health, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The second he drops below 100% health, he has 250% defense.
And 35% crit avoid.
Yeah. Like, okay. And even if you stop targeting him because he'll drop taunt after he drops below 100% health, you're like, okay, I'm going to go for this other Jedi. Taunt's gone. The second that character drops below 100% health, they're getting the defense, the 250% defense. And now Jedi Master Luke has a locked taunt effect on him for each time a Jedi drops below 100% health.
Yes, he does.
So good luck chewing through Luke's, especially if you have a Revan on that team. Go ahead, chew through the Master Luke. He's just going to come back with 100% health and protection.
And Callan windmill defense.
Yeah, I'm like this team. Like it is just going to be a powerhouse. It is going to be so much fun to use.
This team potentially is going to be a counter for so much more than what it was.
Yeah,
than what normally was used for. But go ahead there, buddy. Read level 15 because this is the icing. This is the icing on the cake right here.
Whenever Hermit Yoda uses his basic ability, he reduces his cooldowns by 1 and gains 7% max health, stacking max 210% for the rest of the encounter. Whenever Hermit Yoda gains a stack of Jedi lessons, all Jedi allies gain a stack of Jedi lessons.
Dude,
you are going to have a turn 4 Jedi Master Luke. Oh.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
So, and right with that, you're going to be able to cycle Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker again because he reduces everybody's cooldowns when he hits ultimate.
Yep.
So I'm thinking this is how it's gonna go, right? So Jedi Master Luke goes first, and then typically your Revan will go next, and then your Cal will go next. Your Cal, instead of passing a turn to Revan like you normally would, pass the turn to Luke. Luke does his stun. Then he does his first special. Then he does the other special, passes it to Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda is gaining a stack of Jedi lessons. Now everyone's gaining a stack of Jedi lessons. So then Luke does his basic. Then afterwards, Hermit Yoda takes a turn. Hermit Yoda uses the special that you're granted from the Luke lead. You pass that back to Luke to reduce his special cooldown because that's how the Jedi Master Luke special granted ability works, is if you target another character that did it, it reduces the cooldown of the granted ability. So you're basically just going to go back and forth between Hermit Yoda and Knight Luke to
And
just
Knight
keep
Luke.
reducing
Yep.
the granted special cooldown so that Luke keeps taking bonus turns. Hermit Yoda is gaining a stack of Jedi lessons, which is giving everyone Jedi lessons. It's
This
fucking
team
absurd.
is going to destroy a lot of stuff.
And you're getting the 100% health and 100% offense. I don't think people understand how much that's going to hurt when JML does his AoE.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his big
In
oh
Ultimate.
yeah.
Yeah, in Ultimate form, he already hits hard as fuck when he does that big blast. Can you imagine with 100% more offense on top of the ramped mastery?
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
And Foresight giving them extra damage.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, this Kron that's gross. That's gross. Pretty bad.
This Kron is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what this team can do. I think it'll be able to take Leia. I think it could also finally put the nail in the coffin for Ahsoka, because Jedi Master Luke already could almost beat Ahsoka with Ezra in the lineup. I think with this Kron, you'll be able to fully beat Ahsoka.
Yes, I would agree with
No,
that.
I think with this Kron too, you will be able, because I feel like if you knock out, other than Ezra, if you knock out the sides and it just comes down to Ezra and Ahsoka, you're going to be able to do enough to chew through that.
Well,
So,
and
yeah,
because your Jedi Knight Luke's stun ability, doesn't that reduce against Galactic Legends?
Yeah, it does damage 3 times.
Yeah.
Instead of stunning.
All
yeah, it
enemies
doesn't stun
lose.
it. Just yep.
Well, all enemies lose 10%. I guess that's not going to work against. Is Ahsoka RGL's immune to this Galactic?
The max health reduction. If it doesn't specifically say so, then no. I don't think they're immune to it. I think the only thing they're immune to is the stun.
Okay.
Because they take the 3 instances of damage instead.
All right.
Yes.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, I was curious on that. I'm like, man, that's gonna make things a lot harder to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this will finally be able to beat Ahsoka. So then, like, you're saving your Leia, if that's what you've been doing against Ahsoka. You're saving your Kylo. You're saving your Bane. You can now use Jedi Master Luke. Which is going to be hilarious.
I've discovered where I'm playing. My Leia is reserved for Vader and clone duty.
Yeah, the Vader and clone teams is nasty.
Like, literally, my Leia has now one job: kill Vader. That's it. That's all I got.
Before we do the Rey one, the big grand finale, I do want to talk about the Nebbit one.
No, well, okay. I was going to say, what do you mean finale? Because I want to talk about the Nebbit one for a minute.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that everyone's super interested in hearing opinions about the Raycron. I know I'm very interested in hearing Phil's opinions about the Raycron.
Yeah.
So I know that that'll probably be a longer talking point. So I do want to talk about the Nebbitcron though. Okay. So with Nebbitcron, stats are 60% critical damage, 45% health, 110% potency,
and
40% health steal.
That is so. The potency alone is dirty.
You're never resisting a thermal detonator.
No,
ever. All right. So the level 3 light side. At the start of the encounter, the weakest ally gains 20% turn meter for every light side ally. Quill. 20 times 5 is 100.
Quill's going first.
All right. Level 6. Whenever IG-11 loses taunt, remove 50% turn meter from all enemies.
Ooh, that's gross. That's gross.
Level 9. Whenever Queel damages an enemy with a special ability and the enemy doesn't have Armor Shred, inflict Armor Shred for the rest of the battle. Whenever Queel uses a basic ability and damages an enemy with Armor Shred, inflict Expose for 2 turns on that enemy, which can't be resisted, and Queel gains protection up 50%, stacking for 2 turns. Nice with the Armor Shred, nice with the Expose, and then obviously protection up just to keep him alive is going to be very nice.
That's disgusting.
Now,
The level
the level
12.
12 is where things
Yep.
are going to start getting very interesting.
Level 12 is where it's going to make more sense for this being with Queel and IG-11.
Yeah.
At the start of battle, Jawa allies gain 100% bonus protection until the end of the encounter, and all enemies are inflicted with Provoked for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. For those of you who don't memorize debuffs in a mobile game, which I understand, it is the red retribution icon that forces you to counterattack. It gives you a 100% counter chance. You take damage when you counterattack, and you do 90% less damage when you counterattack. So you're going to be forced to attack if they do an AoE, which IG-11 has an AoE. Whenever an enemy takes damage from a thermal detonator expiring, Jawa allies recover 5% health protection, gain 5% turn meter, and there is an 80% chance that enemy is inflicted with a thermal detonator for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled, prevented, or resisted. So you're taking damage from thermal detonators expired. So let's say fucking 9 thermal detonators go off. Each one of those thermal detonators is rolling an 80% chance to reapply itself on you after it goes off. Okay. The 100% bonus protection for Jawas is big, so that the level 3 triggers on Queel. So that Queel is the weakest character. He gains all the turn meter, and then he's doing his big like buff ability. It's like mechanics, or it's Frontier Wisdom, where he does his big buff, gets everybody turn meter, everybody gains mechanic savvy. Super great for Scoundrels, which we will get into here.
Yeah.
So level 15 Nebit. At the start of battle, if all other allies are Jawa, Queel, or IG-11, all allies gain the Droid, Jawa, and Scoundrel tag for the rest of battle. Whenever Chief Nebit taunts, he dispels it, grants taunt to IG-11, and gains a bonus turn.
So let me take
You're the Jawa connoisseur here.
Yeah, let me take the floor. So obviously, the crit damage potency is going to be huge. So I'm in game. Let me check this real quick. The 3 Jawas that I think are going to benefit most from this, and I think it's pretty obvious. Obviously, Chief Nebit, Jawa Engineer, and Jawa Scavenger.
Yeah.
You want the thermal. I took it upon myself because I don't know what, like, so everybody that's listening knows this. There's a special place in my heart for Jawas. I feel like they're like the forgotten faction of only 5. I remember when the Crate Dragon raid, Jawas, and I was like, dude, I literally did. I relicked all my Jawas. I put decent mods on them, and they sucked. They were absolute just trash in the raid. Didn't matter what mods you put on them, they were trash. So I'm once again hoping to pay off on my investment. So here we are, and I put Jawa Engineer, Chief Nebit, Jawa Scavenger, all the Relic 7, remodded all of them, and remodded Quill, remodded IG-11, and I don't think this is a defensive team. I really don't.
No.
I think this is a team that you throw out on offense, and the amount of thermal detonators that you're going to be putting out there is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I just don't trust that the AI is going to play it right if you put it on defense.
No, it won't hold the scrap bomb.
No, that's what that's the thing. The big bomb to kill everybody.
I am debating. I'm thinking the Saul Luthen team right now is one of the most, with the levels that they have, but they're constant. If you're putting Scavenger in that team, with the amount of damage, the AoEs that are going on in that team, they're gonna have so many thermals on them, and then one grenade throw, and it's gonna wipe them out, and then you're recovering your health and protection back.
Yeah, and if you mod it properly, that Quill is the weakest character. this team is it's going to destroy stuff. Like I honestly think people are going to be surprised as to what teams this is going to be able to take out. Now, it is an investment. You got to take some Jawas. You got to put some mods on them. But Quill and IG-11, where we play, all three of us, we have them. They're
Useless.
7-star. They're relic.
Fucking
All we might have to do, I know, they're useless. So all we might have to do is a little bit of remodding. But other than that, this will be a very cheap team to knock out some shit that normally you would never even think of any of this.
So I'm going to get this team. Go ahead, Phil.
I was going to say, I don't know that you want Engineer. You're not going to need him if Queel's going to juice your team at the start of battle. Why would you not put, like, I'm looking at I have, like, OG Jawa. He has an AoE, and everybody's got Provoked.
Yep.
So you're going to AoE, and then everyone's going to counterattack you, and you're going to land a bunch of thermals. Because normally you just use Engineer to juice your turn meter. Like, he's not doing anything else.
This Jawa team is going to be like the fucking Riva event. The Jawas and that.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
just absurd. No, so I'm personally, I'm going to get this team, and I'm going to put them on defense, and I'm going to mod them slow as hell. They are going to be incredibly fucking slow. And I'm just going to let somebody go into battle against it and just hit them a bunch, and then hope that they don't pay attention that they have 100 thermal detonators on them, and then they just disappear. Because I think people, even with the Datacron, I think people are going to see Jawas on defense with Queel and IG-11. Look at the Datacron and go, I can kill this team before the bombs go off. And then one wrong move, and you're fucked.
This is, like, how many times have you lost to a Jawa team in Conquest because you got way too many thermal detonators landed on you from dicking around too much?
Yep.
Somebody said Engineer, yeah, so Engineer will revive other members, but Queel's Mechanic Savvy kind of does that, which is in the level 12, that everybody gains those tags. So that's what I was saying.
We have to look back at the kits for Queel, and I was trying to say Queel and kits at the same time. We'll have to look back at the kits for Queel and IG-11, but then you got to think, like, Queel and IG-11 already have the Scoundrel tag. Queel will get the Droid tag and the Jawa tag. Yeah. IG-11 already has Droid and Scoundrel. He'll get the Jawa tag, and the Jawas who already have the Jawa tag will get Scoundrel and Droid. So we got to think about Queel's kit, who is already buffing droids and scoundrels. IG-11, who is like the fucking king tank for the scoundrels. Like,
the other thing I love about this is that the Jawas generally, even at relics, and I can attest this because I have them at relics, they're squishy. So at the start of the battle, Jawa allies gain 100% bonus protection until the end of the account. That is pretty much a guarantee, unless you use a galactic legend, that you're going to get fucking detonated. Thermals are going to be placed on you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wombat just is saying, nothing to stop a Malik solo. There's a part of me that I see it, but I think with the amount of protection your guys would be gaining back.
I don't think he gets through them. I think it's a timeout.
And then he said OG Kylo is going to bitch this team to the ground. But on that front, where I would potentially get nervous for Kylo is that Queel has stun.
Yes, he does. And that's why I would worry about Malik as well.
Yeah,
I think this team is not, like, with this Kron, it's not soloable anymore. Like, they have so much ramped protection, like, you're not going to get through them fast enough.
And the potency. I mean, if Quill wants to stun you, he's going to stun you.
Yeah. So I'm looking back at Queel's kit. So all allies, this is his I've spoken special. All allies recover health equal to 20% of Queel's max health and protection, equal to 20% of Queel's max protection. Doubled for droid and scoundrel allies.
We've already got that.
Scoundrel allies gain 25% turn meter. Scoundrel and light side droid allies gain mechanic savvy for 2 turns, which can't be copied. Droid for mechanic savvy, droids plus 40% offense when defeated revive with 80% health and protection. Scoundrels plus 20% scoundrel critical chance plus 40% critical damage and defense penetration. And then his unique. At the start of battle, other droid and scoundrel allies gain 40% of Queel's max health, offense, and potency, and they gain 40% of Queel's max protection until the first time he is defeated. Queel and droid allies recover 20% protection whenever an enemy is inflicted with shock. While IG-11 is an ally, Queel and IG-11 have plus 10% health steal and plus 30% potency. Queel can't be critically hit or stunned, and whenever IG-11 is critically hit, he recovers 20% protection. You're not soloing this team.
You're not soloing this
You're
team.
not soloing that team. There's no shot.
I appreciate everybody in chat, but revisiting these kits, no. You're gonna. And again, that's why I'm saying this isn't a team that you put on defense. I think this is offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Quill's going first. The Jawas, everyone else is going to follow. Thermals everywhere. This is an offensive team.
By the way, IG-11 has tenacity down on his AoE. That also makes him taunt.
Oh, fuck.
So,
well, that ends that debate.
Yeah. So IG-11's unique reads: at the start of battle, IG-11 gains max protection equal to 20% of his max health. If Queel is an ally, IG-11 gains 40% instead and taunts for 2 turns at the start of each encounter. Whenever another droid or scoundrel ally attacks during an enemy turn, IG-11 assists. At the start of IG-11's turn, he dispels all debuffs from droid and scoundrel allies. For each debuff dispelled this way, IG-11 inflicts damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy which can't be evaded. This team is going to be dirtier than people think. I'm telling you, it's not. You're not going to walk through it.
I read this and I'm going, holy shit! I mean, yeah. This is going to be something to deal with. It is. So, go ahead, Phil. What do you got?
I was going to say, I think it's going to surprise a lot of players.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's going to go on my back wall, and I'm just going to be like, what are you going to do about it?
So
no,
Wombat,
I want to see how it performs.
So Wombat says the only thing stopping OG Kylo is stun, so bring Watt and it's over. They're never going to kill him. So now I'm taking my Watt Tambor either away from Sith Eternal, which makes him neutered, or I'm taking Watt Tambor away from my trench team with Dooku's Kron. And I think, and I just wanted to bring this up before we get to Darkside Ray, that's part of the conversation with Datacrons that you need to think about is... in like with Wombat there where he's saying, oh, I'm going to bring, Watt with that team. Well, now you've, for some of us who have a trench team and have the Dooku Datacron, like that's an important team for me. So I can't just take Watt away. So you're losing a character, you're losing a team to try to, potentially kill Jawas. And if you don't do that, you've killed 2 things for nothing.
And not only that, but I mean, I'm doing it, and I've seen a lot of people in Kyber 1 doing it as well. Ahsoka, people are still taking Ezra and putting him with Rey. So to kind of make up for that, to make Ahsoka a little more annoying, they're putting Watt on it. They're putting Watt with Ahsoka and the rest of the Spectre. And it is. It can be had. It can be beaten. It's just a little more annoying. So again, that's kind of another reason why I mean, YoungSkywalker, I'm looking forward to it. You put it on defense, please let me know what your results are. But I'm going to test this shit on offense. Like I think there are certain teams that you face, like Jedi Vanguard, Resistance, that they're going to be plugging away at you, and they're going to collect so many thermal detonators that the team is going to kill itself.
Yeah, resistance will get blown up by this Jawa
Oh,
team
yeah,
easily.
exactly. So there's a lot of options out there that I want to try this on offense with.
My goal for this Jawa team is I'm totally fine if it gets one shot. If it takes like a Malgus or a Balin or a GL, I'm totally fine with that.
Oh no, that's 100% fair trade-off.
Yeah, that's.
100%.
I feel like
that's
half.
all I'm looking for.
That's half the reason you want these things is okay. Now go kill this instead.
Yep. So if
All
I
right.
can get that kind of trade off, perfect. But if people are going in with some fucking bullshit, then yeah, I'll pull it off defense. But like for the first couple runs, like I want to see if people are just like, I don't want to fucking deal with that GL or high level like fringe borderline GL team. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that trade off. All right, for the big shebang, we ready?
Yeah,
we ready for this one?
The coup de grace. Phil, I know you've kind of gone into this blind, so buckle up. Here we go.
So the stats. This is, I will say, this is a mostly first order, but a little bit of Sith for this Kron. So the stats are defense 150%, critical damage 140%, and potency 60%. So the level 3 Sith Trooper. Whenever Sith Trooper critically hits an enemy, Sith Trooper gains 10% critical damage, defense penetration, and offense, stacking max 200% until the end of battle.
So that would also count if he gets full crits in 5v5 on his AoE.
Yep. That's 50% defense pen, critical damage, and offense.
Yep.
Bonus to what he already has.
Exactly.
Level 6, whenever first... Well, I will talk about the level 3 as well. Sith Trooper assists on pretty much everything, and it's typically always a crit.
Yeah.
So, like, he does his AoE, and then everybody else is doing specials or basics or whatever it is, and Sith Trooper is assisting. You can easily get to 100% stack by everyone's first turn.
Yeah.
Level 6. Whenever first order allies are critically hit, they gain 10% critical damage, stacking until the end of the encounter. That one does not have a cap. That is forever.
But that's a little bit... It's a little bit nerfed because if you have advantage, you can't be critically hit.
Exactly.
For sure.
And the other thing that makes me a little wary of that's kind of a wipe your ass level is that a lot of the other first order, they're squishy as fuck. Like they just die.
Yeah.
The level 9. The first time each dark side ally is defeated, remaining dark side allies gain 50% offense and 20 speed, stacking for the rest of the encounter.
Well,
so
then
that one, and then Dad, what you were saying about the level 6, I get that they're squishy, but with 150% defense on top of the fact that if they have advantage, they're not being critically hit. So it's really just calling out Sith Trooper and Rey because she has dark side Rey. She has a Sith tag, not Ufu. So it's really those are the only two callouts for that one. Level 15, Rey. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Rey, Dark Side Vision, takes a bonus turn. During this bonus turn, Rey, Dark Side Vision, deals 100% more damage. This bonus turn can't trigger this effect on enemies. So I'll go through each piece of this. So starting with the level 9, because we already kind of talked about the 3 and the 6. So the level 9. So the first time each dark side ally is defeated, blah, 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 blah. That persists even if they're revived from Rey.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same exact thing.
Right? The enemy takes a turn. They kill somebody. Rey takes her 100% bonus turn. Or 100% more damage bonus turn. Kills them. They come back.
Yeah.
And then you're keeping those benefits. Right? On top of that, the doubt. So say Sith Trooper gets knocked below 50% health. All enemies are taking doubt for a turn.
Yep.
And then my other thing is, if you have Rey modded for any amount of speed, take it off. If Rey is not modded for offense, fix it. Because you make her slow and you put the fucking offense arrow on, You go full offense set. You make sure that she doesn't get to take a turn before her bonus turn is triggered.
Yeah, no,
You
I
might
see what you're
delete.
saying.
You might
Yep.
delete their entire team from her first turn because her lightning ability in Grand Arena already does 100% more damage on top of the 100% more damage from the level 15. That's rough. So I do not think Bane is going to beat this team. I don't think Bane's going to beat him anymore.
No, you said that. You said that.
That is my take about this Kron. I do not think Bane beats this team anymore.
What about Sith Eternal Bane? Because that's a different.
Yeah,
That is a different animal. That is
'Cause
very very different.
You can ignore taunt.
Yep.
You can link up. So now you're linking Darkside Ray, and you're gonna
target Darkside Ray at the beginning. I thought she gets that like stealth
or
shadow.
is she untarget? Is she
shit.
untargetable?
I think she might be at the very beginning.
But there's also things, and we're going to get to
Well,
it. We're going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. But there's things in the base Datacron set that I think would help very much Bane and SCE going against this.
Let me see. I wanted to pull up the her kit because you're gonna. So you think you're gonna start with Bane, right? Because it's a bonus turn that he starts with. So he's gonna trigger her bonus turn, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Ray is
So after he takes his bonus turn, Ray will immediately go afterwards.
Yes. Whenever an enemy's defeated, while in Grand Arenas, while Ray is untargetable. So if the on the leader slot is any version of Kylo, Ray is untargetable until all enemies have taken a turn or are defeated. Yep. So I think how this could work, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're gonna start with Bane. Right? He's going to go first. And he's going to increase cooldowns, do his fun thing. She's going to take a turn.
Yep.
Then it'll probably go to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And then it's going to go to Sith Eternal because you're going to run Hux so you can't gain the turn meter from Bane's AoE. The second special, right? You're not going to gain any turn meter from this because you're going to have Hux. But Sith Eternal will use Link. So when he uses Link, that counts as an ability. And so he'll use Link one time. You can link up whoever you want. And then you should be able to then hit Rey on that second link.
Yeah, so that's how it worked because this was an old Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum Kron from a couple months ago. That's exactly how it worked with her as well. So he would use his initial link, Ahsoka would take a turn. Then he would use his other link, Ahsoka would take a turn.
Yep. Which, again, if he's if she's not linked, she does have the potential to ruin your life. With the amount
even if Kylo is linked, he still crits because Link works different on GLs.
Yeah, you don't link.
Yeah, it's true.
You only link him to gain your ultimate.
So sure, like in that team, you're linking what? Fucking Sith Trooper and Hux. Okay. I think that team is going to chew through Bane and SCE. I think maybe Bane and SCE might still be able to beat it. I think it's going to be gross banners. I think you're going to be getting out of there by the skin of your teeth. Because the second somebody drops below 50% health, either it's Rey or Sith Trooper, like you're gaining doubt. And with doubt, you're not gaining buffs. You're not gaining protection back. So say SCE dies and you're rocking there with Bane and Bane's at like 75% health. Like he's not getting maxed out from his Sith ally dying.
That's true. They're not going to gain their the protection back on their turns either for a little bit.
No,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think that team is gonna fuck Bane up.
That is actually kind of crazy. So the question is, right? Are you going to use JML against this team? do we think JML still works with
I
having
That's a
read
really good
this?
question.
I'll tell you where I get nervous is you're going to be critically hitting people because Jedi Knight Luke will dispel buffs on his basics, so he can critically hit. Cal can critically hit because he'll dispel buffs. They're going to be removing Jedi Master Luke will remove turn meter from people, and they can ignore the taunt now. This is going to be a problem team.
Yeah, this is going to be. I'm going to put it on defense and let it be your problem.
Yeah, I can see that 100%.
That's what everyone who gets this cron, it's going to be. I'm putting it on defense, and good luck. Have fun.
I'm gonna have to wait for Arnold to stream his GAC week.
Literally,
to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do.
I'm so excited for Bones and Avant to try and fight that team because they said in the last podcast episode, they're like, yeah, I'm still going to take Bane against it. Bane will win. Okay. Go ahead. Use your Bane. Watch him get fucking blown out of the water.
Yeah, I'm nervous because that team just looks way too good. I think the scarier part of this is the defense. Giving them defense is brutal. All right, so that is all of the focused crons. Yeah. So your order
that is it for focused.
So YoungSkywalker, your order would be Director Krennic to 12, Darkside Rey, Hermit Yoda, and Chief Nebbit.
Yes, personally, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking. Oh, by the way, I did look to see what the 13 and 14 for Krennic was. It is the 13 is the 20% offense, and then the other one is the critical chance. Yeah, okay, offense and then critical chance. So you're going to want to bring it to 14, unfortunately, but or at least 13 if you don't. 13. Yeah, if you don't care about the critical chance, but at least 13 for the extra offense so that you get that. But that support crown is going to be so good with Queen Amidala. Or if you're a fan of putting Rey and Ezra together, which I don't like. I think it's not great. I think you're really hamstringing your Ahsoka team. I like just keeping Ahsoka very Spectre, keeping Ezra there. You could even put that support cron on an Ahsoka team and make your Ahsoka team even more fucking annoying because General Syndulla is support and Ezra is support. So you have options there. That's the great thing about that support cron is if you put it on Queen Amidala and it's not giving you great returns, then put it on Ahsoka. Make the Ahsoka team way more annoying because I think Leia would really struggle beating that team if they're constantly getting buff immunity.
Oh, Wombat just said the support cron is Luthen food. Luthen, Saw Gerrera.
That's the way, I get that, but
they have their cron right now that helps them.
I know, but I really like putting Saw Gerrera with Luthen.
Yeah,
Babes,
I see Luthen on defense so much. Having him on offense is unheard of for me. At least when I go against.
He's saying use the support cron with Saw Gerrera Luthen instead of Queen Amidala.
Oh yeah. I mean, you absolutely can do that. I don't have Saw and Luthen built up, so it wasn't my first thought, and I'm not 100% sure how the team works, but people who do have them, like that's also a great shout. I love that because that makes that team just as annoying. Because that team is really fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's gotten me more holds than any other team this GAC season.
I almost lost against it today doing my Grain Arena. I brought in Inquisitors against a Saw, Luthen, Kyle team, and Saw he threw his grenade out and all of my Inquisitors almost died. I don't know what the fuck happened.
No, 100% agreed. So, do we want to hit up the base set just for a bit? Kind of go over some things we like, some things we don't.
Oh, I did want to say I had one thought to finish on this because I didn't get to. It slipped my mind.
No, please, no,
Oh, yeah,
Bill, go ahead.
I have to say I have one critique of the Focus Datacrons, and it's over the Dark Side Raycron. I was enjoying it's like Chief Nebbit, Hermit Yoda, Director Krennic, Afra, Boba Fett, Sign of Django, Hera Syndulla, Old Republic. Like, it's all these just random characters that, like, even Hermit Yoda a little bit this way that you're going to use him with a GL. But, like, Darkside Ray to me, this just feels like overkill.
Probably wasn't needed.
Think this, and again, I get it. I'm going to be using this Datacron, so, like, I'm complaining, but I'm going to use it because I'm not an idiot. But it feels to me that they saw what the Focus Datacrons, I felt they were, again, I was wrong, and when we were on Three Scoundrels, Kate Gaming brought it up that she has a mid-game account, and she was like, I never see it. And I was kind of shocked, because I thought the Focus Datacrons would be, like, what you should focus on at that point in the game, because the stats are guaranteed, it's not gated by relic levels, like, it's pretty, but this, to me, is the whale food, where they're like, we know who's investing in these Datacrons, and it's all people that are going to want this and have Darkside Ray. Because if you don't have Darkside Ray, this Cron loses so much of its value.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say,
I like the stats on it, but yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like, if you don't have Darkside Ray, you're not getting nearly as much bang for your buck.
No, you're not. And I would have to agree with what you said in the beginning. It was like, this is a little unnecessary, because Slicker with the new Ray was just so potent and so good at what it does, but now you've given it kind of a higher tier of destruction that, again, I understand why some people would want to put this on defense, and I have no doubt I'm going to see it. But again, this is another team where it's like another get out of jail free card. Like, you're going to use it on offense, and it's going to destroy whatever is in front of it.
Oh, yeah. I still think the defense, and let my opponent figure it out for the first week or two.
Mm-hmm. Let .gg get its data.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to get its data.
Data.
I
can't wait to see the win-loss percentage on that team. It's going to be so funny.
Yeah. So, all right, let's hit up this base shit. So,
I have the
Phil,
dark side. I have dark side alignments up. Is that where you were heading?
No, I was gonna head to stats first.
Okay, all right, let's go to the stats.
I thought if we hit up stats, that's kind of a good place to start with that. So for this set, to be 100% honest, I feel like while there is some offensive capability with the set, the secondaries are very defense oriented. The defense gains from 75 to 100%, those are outrageous. You are going to see some outrageous defensive teams.
Well, and you know what? You know the big one that your health steal and defense with a certain galactic legend that's light side is the most annoying thing that you will ever deal with.
And it is. And while I would agree with you, I also think there's a case to be made for the protection between 20 and 30%. So I would take either or. Health steal or protection. I
was talking for Ray.
Oh, no, 100%. Like, I would take either health steal or protection.
Oh, with Ray, I would not want.
I was thinking, no, I wouldn't want protection. I was thinking offense. If you're not going health steal, offense.
Yeah.
Oh, for Ray? Well, no, not yet. Sorry, I didn't realize you were talking about a specific team. I was just talking about, like, in general, some of the stats that I'm.
Oh yeah, in general, you're just gonna see a fuck ton of defense with.
Yeah.
And this is my issue with this set is that the light side gets the bulk cron, which is the 15% more health and protection per light side ally.
so gross.
I
It's gonna be so fucking gross.
I hate that level 3 when it's attached to a Datacron set that also has defense in the stats. I think if you're gonna do one, you can't do the other. It just makes it really fucking obnoxious. Because when you have that bulk cron on top of somebody that is paying absurd amounts to reroll their cron to have 300% defense, like, or even 250, like the bulk cron with 200+% defense increase is just fucking annoying. It's like you just time out. Your grand arena becomes, well, I hope I can get through enough teams.
And then this is so you think the set we have right now, Echoes of Rebellion, that has 15 and 15 for light side.
Yep.
The purple set we had before, the purple set, the Sonicron, that does not have it. But the Datacron set before that did have 15 and 15 for light side because that was Ahsoka's Datacron set.
Well, this set that we have right now, not this new one, but the one that we have right now with like the Luthen cron and everything, that has light side bulk.
That's what I'm saying. So you have ever since, and I've said this, that they are protecting Ahsoka. That every time Ahsoka, ever since she's been in game, there's a light side 15 and 15 cron. Because without that 15 and 15 cron, Leia can one-shot Ezra.
And, you get a high enough defensive set and maybe some health steal. And I would see a lot of players putting Ezra back with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And planting that on defense and going, here, man, deal with it.
Yeah.
It's going to be
if they're gonna add the bulk level 3 with defense, fuck's sake, at least put armor pen and resistance pen in here with the stats as well to kind of counterbalance it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the two secondaries that I would kind of avoid, team dependent. Crit chance, that's Phil, we've talked about this. That's garbage. That is absolute. Like every fucking set, dude, they do. Oh, we're gonna give you some crit chance. Like, eat it. It's such crap.
The crit chance and tenacity piss me off more than any other.
I don't know. Some of the tenacity ones are actually like I enjoy getting tenacity rolls for like a COS team or like some other team that like really needs tenacity.
Specific teams I get, but crit chance?
No, crit chance is shit.
Yeah, that crit chance really works against Lord Vader when he's below 80% health. It really fucking helps us.
And honestly, the next secondary after crit chance that I would kind of scoff at is potency.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of like, for some teams, it may be good. It is 50 to 70%. That is not bad. So if you got one of those in your role, I might keep it. But those would be the two that I'm like, crit chance, potency, everything else I'm okay with.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, and that's, I will say this. I do appreciate that there's a variety, like it's crit damage, offense, you've got protection, defense, and then kind of health steal. Health steal kind of goes, I'd argue, both ways, where I could consider that an offensive and defensively helpful stat, where like your tanks like defense and protection, your attackers like critical damage and offense. They've balanced it out a little bit, where there was a couple of sets where it was like health, protection, defense, and then like nothing else. Where it seems like they've tried to be like, all right, this is good for attackers, and this is the stat you want for your tankier teams.
Oh, yeah. So we've got next. Let's kind of go into alignments. We'll start with light side first. Obviously, again, the one you're going to want the most. At the start of the encounter, light side allies gain 50% max health and max protection for each other light side ally. That is the standard. That is the one. If you can roll as many of those as humanly possible, it's just going to make your light side teams just so much better.
There's literally I don't even want to discuss any of the other level 3s because 15 and 15 is here. 15 and 15 is that much of a boost. I normally am like, oh, you don't want to re-roll. I will re-roll some of these to get that level 3 because of how important it is to just annoy the hell out of your opponent.
If I'm going for specifically light side crons, if I get a dark side roll this like from the first time of unlocking the level 3, I'll dismantle it.
Oh, really?
I'll move on to the next. Yeah, I'll move on. If I'm only going for light side crons, because like if in the previous set I have a good amount of dark side crons and I need more light side ones, I'll specifically target light side ones and I'll go through, I'll unlock the level 1, level 2, and then when I roll the level 3, if it's not light side, I'll dismantle it and move on.
So, no, and I agree with that. The only other one other than the 15-15 here that I like, because I thought it was kind of niche for certain light side teams, especially turn meter trains. Whenever light side allies use a basic ability to gain speed up for 2 turns. That could be gross. Like, Saw, Mon Mothma. There are some teams that they're throwing out basics left and right, and they're constantly going to have speed up.
Jedi Master Kenobi team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you honestly with Kenobi, you do not need the bulk cron for Kenobi. I personally feel like you don't really need it.
I actually agree with that. You get enough between the rest of the team and the mechanics. You get enough protection and everything else that's yeah, I agree with that.
I will say this, for this current set of Datacrons that we have, I have a specific Datacron for my Jedi Master Kenobi team, and it's the tank revive cron, and it's specifically for mirror matches because their cat will take my Kenobi, but then my Kenobi comes right back.
Oh, if I see a Kenobi on defense, I'm just pulling Balin out.
No shit. Like my Balin.
I don't have his old ass.
My Balin is on offense for that very thing because I don't see it very often.
Yeah, me
like
neither.
I rarely see Jedi Master Kenobi on defense, but
I see him a lot, and I think it's just because people see my roster and see that I don't have Balin, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to have to mirror match it." And I'm like,
"Yeah."
Now that I have that tank revive cron for my Kenobi team, I am not super worried about Jedi Master Kenobi mirror matches. But when I didn't have it, God, did I hate them.
Yeah.
All right. So for the dark side, for alignment level 3, dude, this is rough. There's a lot of dog shit in here. There's one that I like.
There's one I like. That's it.
Whenever dark side allies start their turn with at least 2 buffs that can be dispelled, they gain 5% offense stacking until the end of the encounter. That's
it.
Almost it.
I don't think any of the rest of those are moving. The only one is the recover 2% health when they critically hit an enemy that for like Bane with AoEs, but you're not it's just I don't like it.
I mean, for certain debuff heavy dark side teams, I could see whenever dark side allies are dispelled, at the end of that turn they gain potency up and tenacity up for 2 turns. That could be useful. Like there is a scenario or two where that could come into play. But other than that, these are absolute shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Dark side getting just shit on, while light side getting 15 to 15. They used to. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They used to do both. Do both.
They would mirror the alignments were almost always the same, and it would just be light side or dark side.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when that change happened, but I'm glad there's not 15 and 15 because Lord Vader clones would be stupid.
Oh, it'd be ridiculous. So, speaking of clones, level 6 clones.
This is tied to light side, though. These are not dark side.
Yeah, no, these are.
Wait, Are they?
No, they're
Because
Hold
they
on.
have
It's-
both light side. They have both light side and dark side clones.
well, it's
So
clone
I
trooper.
wonder what it's going to be tied to.
Well, it's clone trooper.
hold on.
because
It's
don't
light side.
is it?
Okay.
All right.
So look at the Disguise Clone Trooper has mechanics. Fives does.
That's what I'm saying. Disguise Clone
CX2.
Trooper and CX and scored.
They-
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, is it going to be like a double roll? Like, if you roll clones on the faction, then, or if you roll dark side, then you can roll clones. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to go.
Well, the thing is,
I think they're the dark. I think this is dark side faction.
Well, no, I think it's both because light side clones and dark side clones both have clone trooper tech, and this is literally for clones.
I'm trying to. Logan, how do you not have any of these yet?
I'm working on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how this is gonna roll because there's no light side Mandalorians. They're all dark side Mandalorians.
That's
No,
yeah.
they are.
So okay, here
all dark side Mandalorians.
I have one of my guys in my squad, Arena Shard, has a level 3 dark side clone, or level 3 dark side. Level 6 is clone trooper, and it can no longer target light side.
Okay.
The level 3 can no longer target light side.
So the clone trooper is both light side and dark side. Mandalorian is
they're both.
gonna be just
Yeah,
dark side.
That's
Gungans
what I
is
thought.
light and Vanguard is light.
So the then he has a light side level 3 with the level 6 being Gungans, and it can no longer target clone troopers or Mandalorians. So clone troopers is tied to the dark side level 3.
Okay.
Mm.
So the only two in here that I would even consider. So the best one I think is whenever a debuff on an enemy expires, clone trooper allies gain 2% offense, doubled if that debuff was dispelled until the end of battle. Now,
Yep.
let's talk about dark side clones for a moment and the amount of damage over time effect that gets thrown out there and how sometimes things just get dispelled. Now, I'm glad they only made it 2% offense. If it was anything higher than that, holy shit.
I mean, it's 4 if it gets fucking dispelled.
I know. Why they left it at 2, because anything else is excessive.
Well, I mean, there's also... All right, so say it's 4% if it gets dispelled. Lord Vader's putting out 6 dots. So let's say Lord Vader takes a turn, and then either yourself playing with the other team or the AI cleanses all those. That's 6 times 5 times 4.
Well, the other thing to consider is if you're facing this on defense, do you want to dispel?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
What
people misplay.
Leia's gonna if you
Leia dispels passively.
Yeah,
exactly.
Leia and R2D2.
That's what I'm saying. You have teams that dispel passively. Yeah, exactly.
Kylo with his ultimate or with his swipe.
Yeah, the swipe.
That'll dispel. Bane will dispel naturally, right? You cleanse naturally there.
I'm saying, like, I get the 2%, but there's so much passive cleansing and dispelling that, like, it's almost a guaranteed 4%. And then again, you got to think like 6 times 5 times 4.
It's just so much offense.
That's 90% offense.
And I'm not going to bother reading the other 3, but there is one more that I thought was really decent for the clones. The first time each clone trooper ally falls below 50% health, all clone trooper allies reduce their cooldowns by 1 and gain 10% turn meter. I
like that for
yeah.
I don't mind that.
I'll be right back.
I think that works with the 501st nicely.
Yes. It wasn't one that we mentioned yet, but I like the whenever a clone trooper ally defeats an enemy, they take a bonus turn. Can you imagine disguised clone trooper just popping everybody instantaneously?
I'm just
If
trying
they
to think
all
if
have
I
order
like.
66, he's just bang to the next one, bang to the next one, bang to the next one.
I'm just trying to think if I like that one more than I like the 2% offense.
No, I definitely think it's a niche. It's a niche one, but I do think it's intriguing.
I'm kind of I'm the clone trooper defeats an enemy, takes a bonus turn. Could go well with OG Rex.
Yeah,
because you'll use his aerial advantage, take a bonus turn, throw out form up. That'd be disgusting. Never debuff enemy.
Especially with fucking gas and a gas team.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you just get him to stand up right away.
Nope.
Have at least 2 buffs. That middle one, whenever clone trooper allies start their turn with 2 debuffs that can be dispelled, they have 65% chance to dispel all debuffs on themselves. That is I hate that. So
if it was higher, they've tried increasing the percentage because it used to be 50.
Yeah, I cannot
50-50.
I cannot stand that level. That is it pisses me off so much whenever I see that.
Yep.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, we still got a little bit to cover. We're going to try to race through this as quickly as humanly possible. We've got the Gungans next. Now, man, you know what I'm afraid of? A lot of people, myself included, invested in the Gungans, so I'm glad that they did this, because once this next raid disbands and we're on the new one, I mean, Gungans have some counters, some things that they can do, but it's not the greatest. So I'm wondering if this set is gonna, at least for the next several months, gonna help them out a little bit. I love whenever Gungan allies use a special ability during their turn, they stun target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be evaded or resisted.
Yeah,
so that's fucking gross. The opposite team is going to be stunned because this team lives. Their basics suck. They live on their specials.
Basics suck just sends me. It's so true, but I'm
going to
counter that with Traya doesn't care about debuffs.
I was about to say, like, if I don't use Traya against Queen Amidala, I'm using Traya against Gungans, and Traya could give a fiddler's fuck about your debuffs.
And that's the thing, but I feel like you guys are thinking about this team from a defensive standpoint. I don't use Gungans on defense anymore.
Oh, I've stopped using them on defense too.
To me, they're completely offensive. So that ability for offense, that is outstanding.
I personally like when Gungan allies have full health and protection at the start of their turn.
100%
more. I was going to say I like that one more than I like the stun.
Well, I was going to go with either or. If you got either one of those are beautiful.
Yeah, the 100% damage is insane. Now it's on their turn, so the Jar Jar assist on the basic doesn't benefit from this when he has blind and he calls everybody to assist.
But also, due to the shielding, they're going to have full health and protection for a minute.
They're always... You realistically, with your Gungan, should almost always be at full health and protection as long as your phalanx is taunting.
Yeah.
And your shield is up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Now, the rest...
Yeah.
The rest are dog shit. Yeah, they're dog shit.
All right, Mandalorians.
We have...
Dark side Mandalorians.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm gonna use this with Bo. Like, I'll roll a Mando one just for Bo.
What is I'm reading them now.
So Mandalorians. Oh no, those are level 9s. Level 6. All right, level 6 Mandos. My bad. So I'm the one that I'm gonna take the most out of this is whenever a Mandalorian ally is critically hit, they gain 100% critical avoidance and critical chance for 2 turns. There isn't a lot here to work with, and I kind of liked that one.
That's gonna help. If I think this is intended for mall mandos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And so
if we're
go ahead.
If we're all on the same line of thinking with mall mandos, I'm 100% going with the retribution for 3 turns, which can't be dispelled. 100%. Everybody 100% countering for 3 turns. I'm going with that for mall mandos for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's the only one I give a fuck about with all of these. If we're thinking this is only going with mall mandos, that's the only level 6 I give a fuck about.
And I have said it several times. I've said it on my podcast. I love the new Dark Side clones for the sole reason that I now have a whole nother ass-kicking team on offense because Maul Mandalorians will destroy some shit.
I love that team so much. I'm so happy I put them to relics, and then 2 weeks later, a fucking light speed bundle came out.
Are you? I know. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm the fucking jackass that once the Dark Side clones started coming out, I remodded Gar Saxon and put him to Relic 8 and Super Commando.
Hey, at least it helps your Gauntlet Starfighter for the Mandalore fleet mission, because I know that's super important.
And platoons.
You know what? That Mandalore mission is actually, if you use Revan's ship, it's fucking easy.
Oh, I used fucking Executrix with the typical Empire lineup with Gauntlet in there, and it wasn't an issue.
I used Thrawn's ship, no issues.
Fair.
So I like those 2 for Gungans. There really wasn't anything else with them I like. Do we want to go to Vanguard?
Yeah,
Did we want to talk about possible light side Mandalorian options? Because like you can roll this and put it on Bo and give her the stats. She won't get the level 6, or she won't get the level 3 or the level 9, but she'll get a decent level 6 and the stats if you have Bo.
I feel like I'd rather have the 15 and 15 on her and just keep her
That's
alive.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I will say anytime I've ever used Bo, because I don't know, like the past several sets, we've gotten a 15-15. And I feel like because it's not, like, let's be 100% honest, Bo-Katan, the Mandalorians, they're not a very fast team. You kind of have to weather the storm for you to get going what it is you want to get going and doing. So as long as you can survive the initial onslaught without really losing anybody, your odds are very good.
Well, that's why I was thinking, because I have the same thought process. That's why I was thinking for the level 6 for Mandos, whenever a Mandalorian ally is critically hit, they gain 100% critical avoidance and critical chance for 2 turns. Like I was like, I would roll that with high defense and high offense and just run that on Bo. That was my thought process.
At the end of their turn, Mandalorian allies gain critical avoidance and crit chance.
Yeah, whenever a Mandalorian ally is critically hit, they gain 100% critical avoidance and critical chance for 2 turns.
I can see the logic there.
For the level 6, absolutely. For the level 3, I'm still going to want 15 and 15. And if anything, that's going to make this team a lot nastier. Well, it's going to improve your odds significantly, whatever you throw at it offensively. Yeah. You know what? Little cliff note. So in my latest GAC, I struggled with a Balin team. I didn't expect Balin on the back wall. I'd scouted my opponent. It was something that he hadn't done. And I see Balin there, and I for the life of me, I can't remember the first team I threw up against it, but what the fuck is that one mercenary's name where if He doesn't have enough stacks. He dies, and if somebody
Hondo.
else dies, Hondo. So Hondo died. So I was left with preloaded turn meter on Balin, and I actually, well, I used Mandos and a decent cron, and I got it. I was
Okay.
shocked. I was absolutely shocked that worked, because I looked up on Swigo.gg counters, and Mandos weren't even mentioned. But I'm thinking, if I can just get one turn off with Bo-Katan Mandalore and lay into Balin and kill him, that team's dope. And it was crazy. It worked. So all right, that was Mandos. Do we want to hit up
Vanguards,
level
man.
6 Vanguard?
Yeah, some of these are gross. At least the first one is really gross.
Anytime I see words, I know that's the Datacron
Yeah.
that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if all allies are Jedi Vanguard at the start of battle, they gain protection up 100% for one turn at the end of their turn, and additional bonuses based on their role. Attackers ignore taunt during their turn. Healers and supports, the first time this character is defeated, they're revived with 100% health protection. Tanks, immune to stun. Whenever an enemy dispels a buff from a Jedi Vanguard ally, they are inflicted with Provoked for 2 turns. Whenever a Jedi Vanguard ally is attacked out of turn, their cooldowns are reduced by 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I feel like they did this for those that don't wail out on
Yeah.
the new Focus Crown.
I think the next level 6 I think is worse. With these stats and the bulk level 3, this next level 6 is fucking more annoying.
No, go ahead, buddy. Then because I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
At the start of each turn, if non-Galactic Legend Jedi Vanguard allies have 50% or more turn meter, damage they receive is reduced by 75% until the end of the turn.
Oh my
fuck. Yeah. You're not getting through Jocasta on turn 1 anymore. She is taking a turn. Yeah. She is probably going to take several fucking turns.
No, she's going to take several turns, depending on how you have her modded.
The wordy Vanguard is nice. I think that fucking 50% turn meter and 75% reduced damage with the bulk level 3 and a good defensive stat, you're fucked.
Yeah. That's a banner stealer. That is a complete banner stealer. Yep.
Oh my god! Why can't we have that with like another faction? Why?
That's fucking nasty. Hey, at least it's not all light side or like Ufu, because if I have to deal with a defensive Rey who takes 75% reduced damage when she has fucking more than 50% turn meter again, something's gonna get broken.
Then there's at the start of the first turn, they gain offense equal to 400% of their defense, then lose 50% defense. That's not bad for. That's just an annoying one to deal with for like a turn.
Yeah, you either. It's funny that the duality of these level 6s is you're either an immovable object or you're a glass fucking cannon.
Yeah.
Next one is mediocre, recover health protection.
Yeah.
I feel it's mediocre. And then whenever a Jedi Vanguard, ability block, yeah.
Yeah, no. You're looking at the first 3. You're looking at the wordy, the 75% reduced damage, or if like you're feeling fucking froggy, the offense. But
yes.
I think you're really between the wordy or the 75% reduced damage. Can you fucking imagine a Keller and Beck in TW defense with the 75% damage reduction?
And also with a high defensive secondary with the amount of bonus protection he gets from his kit.
Yeah, full Jedi Vanguard with the new Temple Guard and Jocasta Nu in fucking TW defense. Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god.
I will be going for that Kron hardcore in this regular set. Yeah.
Thank God I don't see fucking Jedi Vanguard that often.
Just wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm about to
Yeah,
fucking start seeing them.
yeah, you're about to.
you about to
Yeah,
fuck
people
around and
probably
find
people
out.
probably
Yeah,
people probably just bring their fucking Jocasta on offense against me, but I rarely see that bitch on defense.
dude, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's the Omicrons. I think it's, if somebody put all three, like, I'm putting her on defense. Because it's three Omicrons, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make it your problem. Maybe you'll underestimate it, and I get a hold. So that's kind of how I look at it. So we got some clone. Level 9. Here we go. Level 9. The juicy part of this set. We've got clones.
Which clone do you want to go to? Definitely not Cody. That's ass.
Actually, disguised.
Disguised clone trooper.
Yeah, whenever disguised clone trooper stuns an enemy, which he does quite often, disguised clone trooper gains 10% critical damage stacking, max 200%, and 5 speed stacking, max 50, until the end of the encounter. I like them. I have my, if I remember correctly, I have my disguised clone trooper modded for speed, and I've got him, I think, double check, but I got him around 350. So I'm just thinking with that, depending on how you have your disguised clone trooper modded, that
The
is
critical damage is just great. 200%. Like 50 speed is really nice, but 200% critical damage is absurd.
yeah. No, I've got my disguised clone trooper at 352 speed.
Oof.
I
So
think the better clone level 9 is going to be CX2. I think that's going to be better than disguised. Whenever
Whatever
CX2
CX2.
gains stealth, they also reduce the cooldown of their special ability by 1. He's constantly gaining stealth. On top of that, his special is only a 3-turn cooldown. He only has the one special, but he inflicts disarm, and then gives all of the bonuses based on their role. And if there's an active Lord Vader,
attackers gain offense up for 2 terms. Healers and supports gain speed up.
and then tanks gain 30% bonus protection for 2 turns. Vader's gaining all of that. I think CX2 might be the better go for the level 9.
No, so the only thing is, while he'll spread that disarm around, you only get it on one person at a time.
No, yeah, and that's totally fine about like it being only on one person. I'm talking more about the buffs that or like all the bonuses that he'll spread.
Oh.
So like Oppo is gaining, both the Oppos are gaining offense up for 2 turns.
No,
Vader is gaining offense up for 2 turns, and then Disguised Clone Trooper is what? He's support, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gaining speed up. CX2 himself is gaining speed up, and then Lord Vader is gaining speed up, and then tanks. So Scorch is gaining the 30% bonus protection, and Lord Vader is gaining the 30% bonus protection. On top of that, CX2 is stealthing pretty much every time Oppo does a basic. Both Oppos, every time they do a basic, they're stealthing him. So like realistically, you could get to a point where you're not even doing CX2's basic. You're just constantly pushing the offense up, the speed up, the 30% bonus protection, and just making the team fucking unkillable.
I can see it. I can 100% see it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I do like Disguised Clone Trooper, but like realistically, the critical damage and the speed, like you're not using him for critical damage. You're using him for you have Order 66, you're one-shotted by. Like the speed is nice, but I think all the bonuses you get to your Lord Vader and to your other clones with the CX2 special is just too fucking good to pass up. And like he's constantly gaining stealth. He does stealth on his fucking basic to himself.
Yes. Yeah, if he doesn't have
Yeah.
stealth, he gains it or whatever.
Yeah. So say you're fucking 2 turns away from your special again. He does a basic, gives himself stealth on top of already taking his turn. So that's 2 cooldowns. Boom, he has disarm his next turn. So I think the CX2 one is going to be better for the big guys who have all their clones at Relic 7, 8, 9.
And then Scorch, I would skip.
Yeah, Scorch is whatever.
Scorch I would skip. And also, Cody, like...
I hate that one. That's one of the... That's such a cop-out, like, oh, for every Relic Amplifier level, they receive less damage. Like,
It
all right,
really
that's
is.
Relic 9 Cody
really
coming in
is.
hot. Doesn't fix 99 other problems that Kit has.
No, it doesn't.
It sucks that Rex doesn't have one. I wish they gave it to Rex instead of fucking Cody. The 5s one is interesting.
First time 5 souls below 30% health, they dispel it, all debuffs, and recover 40% health and gain a bonus rest. Yeah, it isn't bad. The bonus turn is arguably the best part of that.
Yeah.
Get General Skywalker standing up fast. And then Arc Trooper, whenever they attack out of turn, health and protection. That's such a... I say this all the time. Arc Trooper attacking out of turn is such a thing of the past. Arc Trooper never attacks out of turn anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, just not worth it. All right.
All right. So we've got some level 9 Mandos, and there's actually some very interesting shit in here. I'm not sure how they're all going to work. Granted, they're all Maul leads with the rest of the Dark Side Mandos, but there's some very interesting shit in here. Just because I brought, brought Imperial Super Commando to Relic 8, I want to read his because I'm hoping that it's absolutely lovely and my investment pays off. So whenever an enemy takes a turn, Imperial Super Commando takes a bonus turn. During this bonus turn, Imperial Super Commando deals 100% more damage.
Oh.
This bonus turn can't trigger this effect on enemies.
That's disgusting.
That's rough, because whenever your opponent goes, depending on how you have your Imperial Super Commando, relict, modded, that could hurt.
Mine's modded for never using him.
I'm gonna say if we're talking pure Mandos for Maul, I think Gar Saxon has the better level 9. Whenever another ally uses an ability on their turn, Gar Saxon assists limit once per turn, dealing 50% more damage.
That was going to be my next one.
Because with the Super Commando kit, so
yeah.
Maul's taking a turn, so Gar Saxon and Super Commando are already assisting, which is making, with the level 9, it's going to make Gar Saxon assist again, which is going to make Super Commando assist again. And with Gar Saxon, with his special assist with the level 9, he's going to be doing even more damage, which is going to be considered true damage based off the uniques. That's fucking rough.
Oh, I love that they're trying. I don't know what it is. I like Gar Saxon and the Imperial, the Commando.
It's a fun team.
It really is.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite teams to use.
Like Maul Mandos is a fun team to use right now, and it's only going to get better with this set.
Not even just that, but I think like all of the Dark Side Mandos, all of their level 9s are useful. Like Canderous is going to be great in a mercenary team with Balin. Whenever Canderous deals damage to an enemy, remove 25% turn meter from that enemy. That's going to be fucking huge because he attacks 3 times. So if somebody's about to take a turn, not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jango Fett in a trench team, whenever Jango Fett uses a basic ability on their turn, other allies gain 25% turn meter. He typically attacks twice, always, so that's 50% turn meter. And then, who's the fucking last one? There was one more that I liked. It might have just been those two, actually. Yeah, no, it was just those two for
No, I
for
was gonna
Canderous,
say,
Canderous in a
yeah,
Merc team, and then Django in a trench team. Like,
Canderous is absolutely terrible. Oh my God, that's so bad.
what, his level 9?
Yes.
With because all the mercenary crons are going away. So if you're running a dark side with this set, I think Canderous with Mercs with the Retribution 6 for 3 turns, so he's constantly counterattacking. That means anyone he's counterattacking, he's dropping their turn meter.
I know, but that's so, like, I feel like that you can overcome that with the amount of turn meter gain that other teams get. That's so niche that, to me, that doesn't, I don't know. That just that one didn't. That one didn't.
It's not blow my
impress me.
socks off.
Yeah.
No, but I think if you're gonna run Canderous with Mercs, you might as well run him with his level 9.
I can see it. I'm not gonna say
mean,
but I can see the logic.
it's a possibility. It's just the fact that whoever he attacks, he's removing turn meter from one tune. That's it.
Well, when he does his
But,
basic or when he does his AOE, he'll do everybody.
No,
Yes.
he will. But I'm thinking the other team is going to be able to really recover from all that. It's just that ability just doesn't scream to me that.
No, I mean
Yeah.
it's definitely the worst out of all the Mandalorians. Minus fucking, I think him and Super Commandos aren't that great. Just because like Super Commando already doesn't do great damage on just his basic alone. All of his damage comes from assisting him and Gar Saxon.
Yep.
So with Super Commando taking a bonus turn and dealing 100% more damage, I mean like 100% of 0 is 0.
Yeah.
That it is. So. All right, we only have 2 left. Jesus Christ, Gungans. Now, Phil, YoungSkywalker, I've read through these, and I'm struggling to find something that I would really shoot for.
Looks like just Tarpals.
Literally, like, these are weak. These are not good.
Tarpals is the only one I'd be interested in. I mean,
Yeah.
Phalanx maybe, but like everyone you use against Gungans ignores taunt anyway. So like you're not
Exactly.
removing taunt.
Like,
Jar Jars, whatever. I mean, recover 25% health, max health, and max protection whenever he inflicts a debuff. Like,
Yep.
if the generator's gone, Gungans are fucked. So his health recovery and protection recovery doesn't really fucking matter. I think you're really just looking at Tarpals with at the start of each of Captain Tarpal's turns, they reset their cooldowns and lose 5% health for each turn. Each ability was reduced. Captain Tarpals can't be defeated this way. As long as you have the generator up, fucking doesn't matter what his health is at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. So Gungans are not very overwhelming. They're meh. Phil, what do you think? I mean, you've got your Gungans. What did anything jump out at you?
I mean, I'm gonna just use the bulk cron again with them, and I'm bringing them on offense a lot now, primarily because a lot of people are using General Grievous and even Trench on defense. So to be able to pull out Gungans, hit auto, and walk away, get full banners, pretty good feeling.
That's good. Yep.
Yeah, I think the best cron that you're gonna want for Gungans for level 3, 6, and 9 is the 15% health and protection, the bulk cron, the 100% damage level 6, and then the Tarpals level 9.
Mm-hmm. So last but not least, before we wrap this all up, Jedi Vanguard. Now, there's really only one.
Yep. Well, I like that.
No, there's a few other things here, but really there's only one.
Yeah.
So, and that's Barriss. So the first time Barriss Offee is defeated, if there's at least one other active ally, revive all other defeated allies and other allies recover 100% health and protection, gain 100% turn meter and 100% offense until the end of battle. That is fucking gross.
So let me break this down real quick, because this is what I think we're going to run into when this set comes out and people start getting it. You're going to run into a bulk Kron level 3 with 75% damage reduction for the Jedi Vanguard, and the level 9 Barris with a fucking Rey team. Because it is not tied to Jedi Vanguard revives.
No,
it is all allies, and you're not going to be able to kill Barris fast enough before Malicos will go apeshit and kill somebody else. And then
Malicos prevents revives.
That's fair. You know what? That is right. Okay. But still,
say,
if you're not using if you're not using Malicos against Rey, what the fuck are you using?
Exactly.
Supreme Leader Kylo.
Well, with the Kylo Kron, Sith enemies prevent revives too, and Kylo himself prevents revives.
Yeah, I was saying more like I'm using another character that stops revives.
Yeah,
basically.
So,
but still, I think that's a good. There's probably a lot of players who might not have, because that's a specific Omicron on Malicos, or is it a part of his kit and the Omicron allows his teammates to?
But I'm fully prepared to see
makes sense.
To see Barris with Rey with this level 9, and then the 75% damage reduction level 6 with the bulk level 3, and like I'll use Malicos and just completely shut down the level 9, but fucking still rough.
Be annoying to get there, especially if Ezra's in the lineup.
Yep.
All right, so that's the Jedi Vanguard. That's all the characters that we really want to cover. If we didn't cover a character, we're just skipping it. You know, now if you don't have Barris and you happen to have Keller and Beck, is that the worst thing in the world?
No, it's not.
No, I like Bex. I like Bex for TW.
But I think we can all agree that there's levels to things, and we feel that that's the level that we want you guys to, hit up. So
yeah, no. After rereading Kelleran's, no, I get that. But again, if I want Jedi Vanguard, I'm going for Barris. That's yeah.
So guys, let's kind of wrap this up with overall thoughts on the set, and I'll kind of go first and say, I think I like that it's Clone Trooper, Gungan, Mandalorian, Jedi Vanguard. Again, Jedi Vanguard we knew was going to happen. But I like that the other factions, like the Clone Troopers, again, lifting Lord Vader a little bit. But I like that they're following up with people are probably still going to use Apocron a lot, and then you're going to have to make a decision. I'm not a fan of the dark side level 3s. I think it's ridiculous if the light side are getting 15 and 15. I like all the stats, but critical chance of potency. So overall, I like this set. I'm excited for it. I do think I will be spending a lot more time getting the focus Datacrons, though. The focus Datacrons just look a little bit better.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that too. There's so many focus in this set that I want. Like, there's more focus crons I want to go after this set than the original.
Yes.
So the rest of my crons may take a bit of a back seat until I get what I want. I will say, go back to all the focus.
Excuse me.
I definitely want I would say priority. Hermit Yoda first, or for me, Hermit Yoda, Rey, and I hate to say it, but fucking Chief Nebbit. I'm not counting Krennic because I only got to bring him to 12.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I'm gonna end up doing that one first, just because it'll be the quickest to just bring it right to. I'll end up bringing it to 13 for the extra offense.
Yeah, 20%.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, I'll end up bringing it to 13, and then I'm going for Rey, and then Hermit Yoda, and then Chief Nebbit Jawas, because I got the Jawas Lightspeed bundle, so I have Relic Jawas.
Yeah, I'm missing the relic Jawas, and now I'm salty about it. Where's my Lightspeed bundle? Bring it
I
back.
know, right? Fucking Jawas. Ugh.
But
So I
Logan,
mean, yeah, that's that's all I got with this set. It's I I think this set is going to really kind of shake up the meta a little bit. I mean, Slicker was already doing amazing work. Now it's going to be worse. Jedi Master Luke he's just going to be on a different playing field than what we're used to. Um, there's some Jedi Vanguard that in there that I like. So no, this is a good Kron set. I really do. I think it's going to change the landscape for a while.
yeah, I agree. Young Skywalker, any last thoughts?
No, I'm super excited about the focused crons. I mean, I already laid out how I'm going after them. I'll be getting the dark side Mandos for Maul, and then I'll do a light side Mandos set just to see how it does. I'm probably gonna ignore the clone troopers possibly for at least the first go around, just because I don't have them all at relics.
Okay.
But probably for
That
second
makes sense.
conquest, I'll start going. The first conquest that we have, I'm only focusing on focused Datacrons. I'll finish conquest in 3 days, which is what I typically do, and then I will solely focus on farming crons for the focus set, so that if I can do it the same way I did for the first time that the focus crons came out, I should have 2 of them maxed out before the first conquest ends.
Jeez.
But like, I don't. We were talking about this on the Scoundrels podcast, but like, I don't give a fuck about this droid character, pirate droid person. So I'm not hitting this conquest super hard for the box. I get to like the one either right before gold box or gold box, and then I farm crons for the rest of it. So like, I can get either gold box or the box right before the silver and gold one. I can get that within the first 4 or 5 days of conquest,
Yeah,
and
there you
then
go.
and then I'm farming crons for the next 9-10 days. I'm farming cron materials, and that's exactly what I did during the Jocasta New Conquest when the first set of focus crons came out, and I had 2.5 focus crons done by the time the first conquest finished, and I was in a great spot.
Yeah, I gotta do better at focusing on getting my focus ones done earlier, because it took me forever to get Boba Fett up and running because of the Mark II pieces. So once that set,
Farm the Datacron node for Sector 4, so that you're not worrying about the Mark IIIs for when you get past. I think it's like when you get past like level 9 for the focus crons, you start needing the Mark IIIs.
yeah,
Farm the Sector 4
Badly.
Datacron node, because you'll get a ton of the level 1 upgrade materials like super passively, just through the conquest pass or through buying them in the shard shop or with shard shop currency. You'll get them super passively. I solely farmed that Sector 4 Datacron node, and I had a massive surplus of Mark 3s and Mark 4s by the time I got my crons to the point where I needed the Mark 3s and Mark 4s. It just makes it so much easier.
that's where I am right now. That's what I was doing last time. Was I just farmed that node where I've got like 100 of the Mark IIs and I've got 500 Mark IIIs. So I was definitely
Nice.
I was hitting that node pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But guys,
All right.
I appreciate you hanging on this long, but
No,
it's always
I had a feeling between the focus and everything else, this was going to be a long one, but it was a good one. There was some great insight, great conversation, great debate on different crons that we thought were going to work. Phil, I want to thank you again. I love collaborating with you and doing these videos with Datacrons. I'm glad young Skywalker got to hop in,
yeah, man.
and he's gotten really really good at looking at Datacrons and kind of deciphering what's going to work and what doesn't. So this was a treat. I appreciate it. Again, Three Scoundrels every Thursday, 8:30 Eastern. Check us out. Continue to support Phil. He puts out great content. Show your love, show your support. But shit, it's 11:37 on a Monday. That's all I got. I gotta go to bed. I gotta work.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a rough morning.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Phil, I want to appreciate you for inviting me on. It was a lot of fun. I love talking about Datacrons. They're hot take. They're one of my joys in this game, just because of all the theory crafting you can do and like the different things that you can figure out with them is just really fun.
Like father, like son.
There it is.
Apple did not fall far from the tree there.
No, it did not.
It's everybody's allowed to have their opinions, and that's, I get it. I can see it. So appreciate you guys coming on. Again, folks, if you stuck around this whole time and you're not subscribed, what the fuck are you doing? Subscribe.
Yeah, like really? Subscribe. Holy shit. What are you waiting for?
So appreciate everybody getting on, and we will see you in the next video. Make sure you check into the Three Scoundrels podcast this Thursday, 8:30. See you guys.
Please
Peace
do.
out.
All right. Thank you.